Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and gosh, I'm blue because the first frame of the video is blue. Hi, welcome everyone. I'm here for Kyoukai no Kanata, episode 12, the finale, minus movies and stuff, which we may or may not watch depending on how this turns out. The last week's episode was, an episode. It was fine. It was okay. Don't hate it. Don't really love it. Watch parts of it again because I got sick and like my memory hasn't been very good this past week. So watch parts of the episode, the previous episode again. And again, it's fine. It's got some significant like in episode pacing issues that belie the overall pacing issues of the show at large. But it's fine as a build up to a finale. It's fine. It's fine. It's all right. What's going on in our world? Mirai was in a special dreamy place world, and then Akihito was sad, and then we got some info dumped by mom, who's apparently a super cool adventurer person, but we don't really get to know about that because that would be interesting, and we can't have that. And so Akihito went and he became the boy who leapt through planets, and he leapt through planets and jumped to her. She's been fighting lots and lots of Yomu and other things. I don't even know if they're Yomu on this other world, which is apparently internal and is her, but also I'm not really sure about the metaphysics here. But she's been fighting stuff, and she got to a point where it was bad. She stabbed the planet, and then the planet stabbed her back with her own sword. I assume because the planet itself is a manifestation of her internal world, something like that. Sure. It exploded in blood, and then he arrived at somewhere on the planet that had just exploded in blood. I'm not sure where or how that happened because, again, the planet exploded in blood. And they hugged. And now the story's over. Our characters have found each other. They have saved themselves from things and stuff. We also have this sort of villain guy who's been doing villainous stuff for reasons, because he's evil, and now he has tentacle powers, and he's basically put everything in the story into motion in some way or another, but also doesn't matter, and is kind of just tacked on there and exists. And I assume that now he's going to try to destroy everything, and we're going to stop him together with the power of love and friendship. Great. That's a fine story. The parts of it that I've told you now are a fine story. I just have difficulty caring about it very much at this point. I would love if that was different, but the current situation is that I really think that the story's basically over, and I don't know why we need another episode. Hopefully the final episode proves me wrong, but I have a feeling it's going to be a whole lot of talking. And maybe some Sakuga as we defeat tentacle monster, purple, weird, goopy dude who is of the association that we haven't met any other members of and doesn't actually exist in story except as a justification for why this guy was allowed into the Izumi household in the first place, basically. Because he's completely a renegade and would be functionally identical if he was just a renegade, right? Like, why is there an association? Don't the Nazis run everything? We're getting onto details. We need to not get onto details because that's where the show falls apart once we start looking at them because they don't make any sense. That's okay. I don't mean to be as hard on the show as I'm being. I wish that I liked it more than I do. But I don't. And that's just the way it is. We're going to finish it. We'll see if the final episode changes my opinion. The final episode is very on-the-nosely titled Gray World, considering the last two episodes have been titled Black World and White World, and one was focused heavily on Mirai's perspective on things, and one was focused heavily on Akihito's perspective on things, and now the two characters have come to... It's very on-the-nose to be Black World, White World, Gray World. Like, really? Again, I don't mean to be that harsh on it, but come on. Come on. You can... Come on. It also has to do with like the grayness of morality and the grayness of belonging and all of... Yeah, all right, it works. It's not bad. It's a fine title. It's just the first title that you think of. And that isn't what I expect from Kyoto Animation. And that's something that I kind of want to mention here at the beginning. I'm holding this show to a higher bar than I would be if this was a random seasonal. In fact, I'm probably holding it to a higher bar than it would be held to if I watched it when it was airing. partly because I'm different, but also because we've spent the last months and months on this channel watching a pretty solid series of extraordinary works from Kyoto Animation Studios. And then we get this and it's kind of fine. And the contrast between fine and Hyouka, and I didn't even like the ending of Hyouka, but still that show is intriguing as hell. Or K-On!, which has some of the most vibrant and interesting characters that I've ever seen, and fantastic direction and fantastic pacing and flow and intrigue. It's not even intriguing, it's just fun. Literally, Tanoshiwa Tanoshidayo. Or even Chunibyo, where the show is just goofy, fun shit that's trying to relive Haruhi and then kind of botches some ending stuff that I don't like, but other people like. That's fine. Those are pretty good. This is the first time where we've had a KyoAni show that doesn't really feel like a KyoAni show. And that's the weird part. Now, there are parts of it that certainly feel like a KyoAni show. A lot of the art style is distinctly and definitely KyoAni. The backgrounds are distinctly and definitely KyoAni. And while KyoAni doesn't often verge into the hyper action-y sequences, the way that the action sequences are done here are distinctly KyoAni. I mean, look at the action-y sequences from Dragon Maid. They're very similar in a lot of ways. But it doesn't feel like a KyoAni show because I don't care about it. And the thing that distinguishes the shows that I've seen before this that come out of Kyoto Animation is that I care. Even Chunibyo, I hated the ending of Chunibyo because I cared about the characters. And that's an interesting thing to realize. It speaks to the quality of the rest of the show that the ending irked me so much, because I would not be irked if I hadn't cared. This show, I have a hard time caring now. And maybe you'll respond to that with something like, well, okay, if you don't care, then why watch it? Well, because I'm 11 fucking episodes into it, and I'm gonna see it through. But I don't feel a strong urge to watch this next episode, and that speaks to me of a failure of pacing, storytelling, intriguing characters, reasons for caring about those characters. When our characters' plotlines are so simple and have such a simple resolution that's literally like, I feel alone, and he's like, I also feel alone. Let's be alone together. We solved that problem on, like, episode 3. Now, there's some wrinkles to it, like, oh, I'm actually an assassin who came here to kill you. That's my whole point of being here. That's why I'm here. But it's just stuff piled onto that same conflict, and the same resolution still applies. So it's hard to care right now, and I'm sorry for that. I will try not to make light of this because I don't care about it very much, but I will also hope that something in this final episode gets me to care. Maybe there will be a couple of lines dropped in here that mean something and feel like they matter. But I have a hard time looking back at the rest of the episodes of this show that we've watched and coming away with anything of distinct value. Things seemed valuable in the moment, but then went nowhere. And lines seemed important and powerful in the moment, but they're also simple and kind of obvious, and that's okay. And sometimes those obvious things can be really well done. Hell, I'm somebody who actively and fairly frequently professes a strong like for Precure, one of the simplest stylistically, like, shows that can be. It's literally Power of Friendship every time. But it's hard to care about this one, and that kind of sucks because there is a lot of great art put into it, both the actual visual arts and the editing and the putting it all together and the flow of certain episodes and certain sections of episodes. Episode 5. But then the whole feels like less than a sum of its parts, and that's really sad. I hope that this final chapter, this final episode, can change that and make things shift in my mind and click. Obviously, we've got some timey-wimey, fucky-wucky stuff going on here, where, like, we found out the reasons for caring about all of the things that we're supposed to care about after we found out the things that we're supposed to care about, which is kind of weird. But that's supposed to be like, oh, I care about all those things now, except that instead it's like, why didn't I know that before? Then I would have cared about the things while they were happening. Oh, okay. I'm a little bit frustrated with this show, honestly. That's the thing. Unlike Chunibyo, where I didn't like the characters but wanted it to have a better ending, this is a show where I don't love any part of it. I just wish that I did, and I wish that I liked it more, and I wish that there was more for me to grab onto and care about. But there isn't. Not really. And that's just my opinion, and that's just how I see it, and that's okay. That's also fine. And it's entirely okay if you love these characters to fucking death, which certainly some people do. And some of them will certainly argue against me in the comments, and that's okay too. I appreciate that, and I am glad, because that means that this piece of media wasn't a waste of time for its creators. But it hasn't been up to the standard that I would have expected. And that's just unfortunate. Anyway, it feels like I'm doing a eulogy for the show before we've even seen the last episode, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm watching it on its deathbed, and it's haggard and screwed up, and it's going out. And I'm hoping that it does one last thing with its last 24 minutes of life on this earth to impress me or change my mind in some way. I wanted to talk about this at the beginning, not to shape or show that my opinion of this show is negative and it can't do anything to do right, but instead to demonstrate what I'm going into this episode looking for. And that thing that I'm looking for is something that makes it matter, something that makes it important to me. If the reason that if I profess that the reason that I watch anime is to glean information, things that are placed into media because they're useful in the real world, then I want to find that thing in this show. Now, there are a couple things that we could point to, finding, again, the simple answer, which is finding the ability to be alone together with other people who feel outcast or separate from others. That's valuable. That's nice. But it's also a feeling that I've seen in tons of other shows. That doesn't make it invalid, but it's also not terribly interesting. I just wanted to set the stage in a sense and explain what I would love to happen in this episode. And that I don't think can happen because of the way the story is gone. We've got a couple of very straightforward plot threads to wrap up. We've got Mr. Evil, who is evil because he's evil, and he's doing a thing with the spear thing that he's done things with, and he kind of actually helped us in the last episode by creating a weird portal thing between the realms. I don't know how that worked, by the way. It was just light show. Light show occurred, and then Akihito could papa. He's gonna do an evil because he's evil. We're gonna stop that because we're not. And our characters are going to have a moment to talk and accept each other, which they already did in, again, episode 3 or 4. So, why should I care? And I'm not asking you, I'm asking the show. And I haven't watched the next episode yet. I haven't watched episode 12 yet, but I'm just hoping that there's something in it that matters. Otherwise, this is going to end up being a pretty short discussion at the end, and that's part of why I wanted to talk about it here at the beginning. All right, we've wasted enough time with me blathering on about how I don't care about this show that we're already about to watch, and then you're supposed to care about me watching it for the next 20 minutes, whether I care about it or not. That's a little whack, but I can't lie about it. I'm not going to be dishonest and be like, we're here for Kyoukai no Kanata. It's the best show ever. What's Akihito going to do? Well, he's going to hug Mirai. What's the evil guy he's going to be evil. What's Mirai she's going to cry and then probably smile in a really cute way. What are Mitsuki and Hiromi gonna maybe an incest joke, and then they'll be happy family a little bit, but a little bit disappointed in Izumi, although they understand the reasons that she did what she did. What's Izumi gonna? It doesn't matter. She's might as well not be a character. What are Ayaka and I gonna? It doesn't matter. They're not really characters. That's the way that the plot points kind of go down. Now, I could be wrong. We could get a second coming of the Great Dark Lord, and Mr. Evil was actually trying to summon his dark ancestor to defeat, but we're not. So, wow me, final episode. Change my mind. Shake things up for a conclusion. Can you? I don't think so. but I'm willing to be proven wrong. All right, let's watch the final episode of Kyoukai no Kanata. There will be 2 versions, picture-in-picture version in the description, timer-based version on YouTube. You want to sync up with the timer thingy, you can do that. Beep beep timer's coming at you. Let's go. That is your senpai. What do you think? Oh. You don't understand anything. She did. Worthless. Yep. Great voice actor performance. Uh-oh. Bigger things are afoot. We're going to have to fight together. Hmm. Mom? Oh, you got kicked. Good job, Sakura. Certainly. Huh? She just stabbed her? Ah, she'll be fine. Yeah, there we go. Oh, never mind. Wait, what? So she predicted that Izumi was going to kill her, so she said a double instead. Spirit Hunters Association has already made... Wait, he's working for them? But he's a renegade. All right, never mind. Okay. Yeah, they're the main characters. That's fair. Okay, so we just table our emotional conversation for later. All right. What was that? It's a planet, dude. Also, what happened with the stab thing that exploded in blood? I thought that was a thing. Girls not wearing glasses? Okay, so we're going goofy instead of tense. That's fine. It's fine. Fine. Nice cuts. Of nice cuts. Hey, that's the scene from the OP place where he does that thing. Kind of. Hell yeah. Ooh, it's like you've got... That's very convenient. So, you really become demonic right-hand person? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You really just become Dragon of the Darkness Flame in your right hand now. Okay. Hi, Nino. Okay, you're gonna get killed, Nino. Wait, what? Were you limited before? Or you? So our main characters are not going to fight the bad guy. We're instead going to use secondary characters that we don't care about that much to fight the bad guy? Or are we using them to build up how bad he is? That was cool. Gross. Cool cut. That was an excellent sequel. What the fuck? Oh. That was gross. Fully replaced all your shit. Oh, hi. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, 5. All right, everybody gets a chance to say something. Mm-hmm. Ooh. His own form of barrier thingy. That's kind of cool. Ooh. How convenient. There is nobody around. He says as he drives away. Okay. We're not gonna make a joke about looking up her skirt? Thank you. Oh. We are not. Thank you. All right, I'm actually waiting for it to happen now. Uh-oh. Oh, Florinet. That's pretty dope. I'll give him that. That's pretty dope. All right, this is a fun sequence. That doesn't track. Yelling makes bikes go faster. That's how it works. Wait, was that the shade hand though? Wasn't that the shade hand? Why didn't they have that be distinctly the shade hand? That means much more. Okay, whatever. That's a very small thing to be pissed about. Good question. I do appreciate the lack of comment on looking up her skirt. That's solidly appreciated. It didn't happen. Cool. Love will do that. It was his right hand. So why wasn't it? Okay. What are you doing, Mirai? We got super victorious music coming. Oh. What's that? Is that thing? It's just a Yoma, right? Seni Soshitsu? Oh. Okay. Here's this. Again, but elsewhere. Hmm. But what if it doesn't? Oh, what? 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 Oh, what? Oh, okay. Cool. Yay, you're alone. Everybody hates you. But she doesn't hate you. Ooh, it's pretty. Izumi's pretty dope. I actually like that line. Cool, cool. Cool, cool. Is he full villain cackling while fighting? Of course he is. Oh gosh. Alright. You just want to bring a strong woman down? Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, you got blackmail material? I agree. Hmm. Really? Oh, he just brought him in. Just trying to unsettle you. That's not gonna work. So do we get to see your full release of shadiness? Ooh, that was neat. I don't know where my pencil is. Fuck it. Show me. Ooh, hi, Hiromi. Uh-oh. Yes. Aww. Aww. Hmm. Hey, we gotta be alone together. Wait, that's like the thing that has been the thing for the whole time. Okay. Cool. Hmm. Oh. Oh. Ha. Oh, she did a thing where she smiled cutely, and then she said the lie. Okay. And then we get to fight all the bad things in our lives together as a team. And we get to throw some dope Sakuga at the board. Love it. Ooh. Ew. Ooh. 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 Love the follow through movement. Oh, and then we're syncing up the way that they start swing, finish swing. Oh, hey, it's Ayaka. Hi, All right. Yep, very helpful. Hmm. This is a very fun light show. Alright, we do it. That's a lot of beef bowls. That is a lot of beef bowls. Maybe too many. It's you. Oh, except not the hand. Oh, you get to talk to yourself? Oh, okay. Envy of what? Oh, that. Okay. That makes sense. It would have been kind of interesting to see these motivations instead of having him just talk about them at the end. Anyway. Ah, there we go. Wait, what? Wait, no. No, no! Wait, no, that's not how... That's just repression. Okay, that's self-identification. Alright. Okay, he actualizes his shadow. Cool. 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 Nani? Why did she just shatter? Did she do something with her blood and fuck her shit up? I have something to request. Cool. Which one, though? Okay. Aww. Alright. Okay. That feels... This is a weird fetish. So, she feels like she's about to die. Oh, shit. Aw, there's the cry. And the smile. What is going on with this? This place destroyed, she destroyed. Okay. I think we should probably be able to fix that. Aww. Do we have enough time to fix this? Maybe not. Is that fully the end? I'm waiting for the shooter drop. He goes to school and she's in the literature club or something. Uh-huh. Great. Which seems legitimate, honestly. Oh. But how did she... Wait, why is she... Wait, what? I actually like that. Bye. Yeah, who the fuck is this guy and why... Are you gonna kill him? Okay, I was hoping he was gonna kill him. Like, why does that guy matter at all? I don't know. Cool, cool. So we go back to the meta comments from the first episode. Got it. Oh, okay. That's what you said before. Uh-huh. Alright. Gray world. I'm going on a movie-related quest to save her. Where did that just go? Oh, okay, we're gonna fix it now. Cool. Oh, back to the beginning. Please tell me that she's not alive. Hey? Turn around, smile time. Oh, no glasses. Wait, what? Glasses. Yeah. What? What? The most interesting thing this show has ever done was kill its primary female protagonist. And they're just like, nah. No reason for it, just happens. Nah, we don't want to end the story that way. That would suck. Nah. What? Not who. Not 2 minutes after. Where's where's the line from Mitsuki? No, wait, where's the line from Mitsuki? Where is that shit? Okay, yeah. So 3 minutes after our most meta-knowledgeable character, Mitsuki, who made meta comments at the very beginning of the show that were about, like, the way that stories begin. I mean, what's his face? Akihito. What's his face? Akihito did that too, but okay. She specifically says, if you know that good will prevail over evil in the end, isn't it a waste of time to continue reading? Which is a meta justification for why this show ends on a dark note because Mirai is dead. It's a love story, and it's a perfect answer to my question, why is there another episode, right? Because in the previous episode, our characters got together. This episode, they just fought a bunch of stuff, and Akito fought himself, and then they realized the thing that they had both already realized before. Great. And then we get Mitsuki saying this. If you know that good will prevail over evil in the end, isn't it a waste of time to continue reading? That's what entertainment's all about, don't you think? Sure, both sides of this are valid. However, you are presenting this point in a meta-knowledgeable context, where they are talking about stories within a story. And the argument between them is that even if you know that the story has a happy ending, it can be interesting how we get there. And this is in the context of a story that, at this point, has a not-so-happy ending. It has an ending that is like, people die, people sacrifice themselves for stuff, and other people have to figure out how to move on. That's a fucking interesting ending. That's a genuinely interesting ending. That's what entertainment's all about, don't you think? And then they immediately give us an ending where Mirai comes back and everything's okay? Without anything interesting happening to justify that. So we toss an interesting negative ending in favor of an entirely uninteresting happy ending immediately after saying that the only thing that makes knowing that it's going to be a happy ending interesting is if it's interesting how we get there? This is the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. Did nobody... I'm fucking falling off of my chair here. Did nobody notice this? Oh god, I need to not laugh. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Wait. Wait. Okay, so we get our scene of cuteness, of very cuteness, and like literally, I want you to head pat me, haha, this is great. Cool. And then so happy, and then we're shattering. The shade beyond the horizon has gone back to you, so this place will crumble away soon. Now that it's gone back to you, I won't be able to exist. The real me is long gone after all. Truly glad to have met you. Glad to have fallen in love with you. All these lines are great. Solid ending for this character. Good times. Bye-bye. Turns to dust. But we get one little memento of her. See, okay. At this moment here, right, we can alter this. At this moment here, we can experience almost losing her, right? And then we could write that, I don't know, Akihito slices his own wrist open with his clawed hand and sprays his blood at her. Because it's their blood now, because she's a part of the shade beyond the horizon and became that way when things happened, and then it's magic, and she reforms because magic, right? Great. Instead, we double bait and switch. And in the middle of the bait and switch, We expressed that stories are uninteresting if they have happy endings, unless those happy endings are justified in some way within the story. This is basically the thematic storyline of like Princess Tutu, which was all about like the Drosselmeyer, the dude who is the meta character who is the puppet string puller of Princess Tutu. This isn't spoilers, really. Thinks that tragedy is the best type of story because it's more interesting. And our characters fight against that. And it's interesting how they achieve what happiness they can in their ending. And they have to make sacrifices to achieve it. That is a good story. It's an interesting one. It's a battle of characters against their fates, against predetermination, the thing that we say a couple of times and don't seem to care what it means. But we in a meta context, talking about stories that they are reviewing for the literature club, and yes, I remember that being the thing. We express that happy endings without justifications are silly. And then Akito expresses, well, yeah, but maybe that's why it's entertaining. We want to see the happy ending. We just want to see our characters fight for it. And then without fighting for it or doing anything, Mirai just reappears and we have a happy ending. Huh? Huh? Okay, I'm missing something. Tell me, is the movie about going and finding her? Is that what it's about? The first part is a recap of the TV series. The second movie is post her reunion with him. So the movie distinctly does not explain how this nonsensical event at the end of the show occurs. What? Did I miss something? Okay, I'm gonna rewatch from the point where she disappears until the end again. I am gonna have to cut this out because I'm just gonna rewatch it. I just want to completely validate this, right? Because this has happened before, and I've like missed a scene that explained some things, and I've gotten like real honed in on it, and like, why did this happen when it actually had been explained? So I'm just gonna do some due diligence really quickly. I'm gonna rewatch from like here, 18 minutes and 20 seconds to like the end-ish, and just, is there anything? Okay, so we catch the One Ring to rule them all. And it's magic. It's her. It's... How did it get there? Why is it real? It's not, is it? Because this place isn't real and she's not real within it, right? So, how's the... Ring it... Oh, it is... Okay, this is totally a side note, but just can we just mention that the bad guy just disappeared? He didn't get defeated. He just was like, "Bye, I'm not bad anymore." So not only did we never know what he was working toward, he just is like, "Nah, not anymore." and then the association that was apparently involved in this, there's an implication in the way that this is phrased that they wrapped everything else by being like, no, we didn't actually know what he was doing. But he never talked to anybody from the association. There was never any indication that he was working for anyone but himself. Okay. We also don't really find out what Izumi did wrong, right? she harbors a shade within her, but we never find out about what that means or how that works, or she never even expresses that as a power that's cool or uncool. It's just said and then used as a justification for her to be like, nah, she's gone now. Okay. I do quite like this line. When you try to live up your ideals, sometimes it might not work out. Yes, that's why they're ideals. It's fucking hard. They're ideal. They're unreachable. That's what it means. This is good. And then you don't give up on them. That's their principles. That's how they work. Okay. Okay. Now, do I go meta about this even if it's kind of dickish? Yes, I do. My ideal is to watch a show and glean useful information for it, or from it. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes I can't live up to that. Sometimes that's because of me. And sometimes it's because the show doesn't make any fucking sense at the ending. What the hell is this ending? I'm going to continue watching because I still haven't gotten far enough into it to make sure that I haven't missed something that explains anything. Just... Huh... How can you write characters being critical of literature while utterly failing to write a compelling ending to a story? How can you put those two things within 5 minutes of each other? How can you... How? Alright. This is a second ending that could work. Actually, a third, if we count the end of the previous episode as also an acceptable ending. Which I think it is. I think it's fine if they just find each other and are like, we fight together, and that's the end. Hard cut, like, freeze frame, jumping into the air to fight. Great, we did it. Then we get another ending that's totally viable, which is she dies and shatters, but then he saves her somehow with magics. Because he's a super powerful Yomu. He just obtained his power. Like, what is the point of him reobtaining his power, right? Oh, okay, so you reobtain your grand Yomu power. You self-actualize. You integrate your shadow, your Yomu half, right? It works metaphorically. It works psychologically. It's great. Excellent. Wonderful. And then, what is that enabled you to do? When you are strong enough to reincorporate yourself and to grasp hold of your darkness, it allows you to protect the people that you care about because you get a better innate understanding of how darkness in people works. And you're able to wield it as a weapon and a tool. So then you wield that tool to save the girl that you care about because that's your whole goal. Great. Solid ending. Workable. Ending number 2. She dies and is dead. And he goes, I lost. This sucks. I said it before, a future built on her sacrifice means nothing. I don't want to live on without her. And yet, life goes on. This is also poignant, powerful, and useful. This is a useful ending. Sometimes you don't live up to your... And it works with the stuff Hiromi said, too. Sometimes you don't live up to your ideals. Sometimes you try as hard as you can and it doesn't work. Sometimes you lose people. That's life. That's how this world, how this universe works. We're mortal. It sucks, but it's true. And yet, we can move on. It's an incredible thing that humans are capable of. Great. Solid ending. Despair-filled ending, but a fucking interesting one. Certainly an interesting one. More interesting than I could have possibly expected from this show. This ending I'm part of why I'm so miffed and so baffled by this is because this ending was enough for me to check that box that I talked about at the very beginning of the episode, where I was like, can this episode prove to me that this show deserves another episode? Can it prove to me that there's something valuable left to say from this story within the confines of what KyoAni will do with the story, which is generally a happy ending? And then it throws a negative, despair-filled, dark ending with a very teensy little glimmer of hope at the far distant future as our character sits alone in a place where he once sat with Mirai and thinks that he can move on even if it's incredibly painful. That would have been enough. And then we take that away by bringing her back for no fucking reason at all. Not only do we switch it out for a happy ending that doesn't make any sense, but we switch out a legitimately interesting ending for our characters in favor of one that isn't interesting at all. It's just authorial fiat. It's just, she's back. That's what everybody wants, because nobody wants the character to be dead. And also, we might make more stuff from this and make it into a franchise, so can't kill the main draw of the show, the Moe girl, right? Nobody's gonna watch fucking Akihito's adventures in Yomuland solo. Nobody gives a fuck. It's Mirai. We care about Mirai. She's interesting. She's cute. She's goofy. She's got some hardship in her life. There's stuff to care about here. She's a character. Akihito as a character is basically there to be the perfect dude for Mirai, because he understands how pain works, right? And he understands how being ostracized works. We don't give a fuck about him. So we bring her back. Okay. Zame Amuro, Kyoukai desu. The little reversal is great. Got a ring. Never explained what the ring actually is or does. How it works, why it matters. This is also powerful and valuable. There is light even at night. There are shadows even in the day. The world will never be completely overcome by darkness, nor will it ever be completely free of darkness. Gray world, welcome to reality. Now you understand it. That's a harsh ending, but it's an interesting one. It's an idea. You know what's not an idea? She's back! I'm gonna keep watching. Is there anything? And in the midst of all that, ring shatters. Boy looks up. Boy runs. Everyone sees this or something. Mirror of things before. I love Kuriyama-san. Sup. Maybe my feelings for Kuriyama-san reached her. Where? How? That's interesting. Oh, you managed to communicate across barriers of space and time and bring her here? That's interesting. How did that happen? Oh, okay, it didn't. Your ring just vanished and now she's here. If our story had ended after a reunion like that, I don't think any story in this world would be worth telling, which is a reflection of stuff for the first episode. Forgot something, have the glasses. Put on the glasses, bye. Ah! Uh, okay, I mean, I got to the end. and it still doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay, so let's talk about the rest of the episode, because we could dwell on the ending for a while. Let's talk about the other things that are wrong with it. Haha. No. Let's talk through it. There are a lot of things in this episode I like, until like the last 5 minutes, and then bye-bye. Bye-bye caring. Bye-bye also suspension of disbelief and feeling like these are characters in a world with any kind of story. Okay, we recap the exact same plot points that I recapped in the beginning of the discussion, where I was like, they get to be alone together. That's the whole thing that we're going to. We continue with the whole Yayoi is a thing. She exists situation, and so we go from like the hardcore drama of the thing and basically resolve it, and then we flash over here to some goofy shit that is goofy because it's goofy, and then it's just a double. Okay. And then they're special. They're main characters, is what Yayoi basically says to all of us, is like, don't worry about it, they'll be fine because they have plot armor. Cool. That would actually be interesting if she fully died, because then Yayoi would be wrong, and that would be kind of interesting. She wouldn't be just the voice of the omniscient narrator who pops in and is like, hey, I heard that the story stalled. Here's a useful piece of information. Mirai's still alive, up there somewhere. Go get her. Because that happened last time. That happened in the last episode when Akito just gets a sheet of paper that's like, meet in the club room. Also, Mirai's alive. Okay. And then, jokes. Look, humor can work in tense situations. It can be used to dissolve tension. And characters can knowingly do this, right? Like characters can make jokes in order to like dissolve the tension that they are experiencing. It's a human thing to do. And having characters be funny in moments, intentionally funny, can work. Especially if they're trying to make light of things so that the darkness that they're facing isn't so ominous. But that's not what this is. This is just the show just throwing jokes at us. It's like, it's time for a joke. Don't have anything else to fill the scenes. You know, like a story that makes sense. Instead of that, Capital in with Row. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, who could have seen that coming? Ha ha. Oh, Mirai's real cool when she fights stuff. And she is. Let me be real. I'm not saying that she's not. She is. There's not a lot of tension in the fights, though. It's just sort of like against an endless horde of stuff that's strong. But then she falls so that he gets she's a damsel in distress moment, even though she's proven herself repeatedly to be like the most capable fighter that we've seen in the show. But he needs a chance to do something as well. So she falls and can't get up, even though she's an extraordinary acrobat who can leap hundreds of feet and chase down a speeding motorcycle with not a problem. Sure. Great. So he does this thing, which is like from the OP, and it's a really cool cut, and it's like, it's dope. Why did it happen? I don't know. Wait, you have a shade hand now? Legit? Exactly my thought. Oh, you have the power, but now it's only in your hand. Oh, all right. Cool. We go. Oh, let's cut over here to evil dude being evil. Nino's gonna be like, I can do this, Will. I'm gonna strengthen it up. And then everybody else shows up too, and they're like, we're here too. And then he's like, I don't want to fight you all. I'm gonna just fight Izumi, because that seems like fun. Also, I'm gonna be really pervy about it at the same time, because that seems like fun, and we don't know how to make this guy actually evil feeling, because all he does is just like, I'm evil, it's what I do. And so we have him be like, could it be that you fancy me? You're just like me. We're both, and we reveal some stuff about Izumi, that she's actually harboring a Yomu, and it has 0 impact, stakes, or meaning. It doesn't matter. She doesn't use it for anything. It's not important in any way. It never comes up in any way. It's just seemingly the reason that Hiromi becomes the head of household now, but so what? Why is that wrong? What is weird about harboring a shade within you? What does that do to you? Does that justify some of her actions before? Was she being controlled? Nope. It's just a thing that's thrown out there that's like, do you care about this? No? All right, on to the next thing that you also don't care about. Welcome to this white place that's white, so we can have a duel between Izumi and that guy. Ooh, a bike in Dream World that happens to have keys in the ignition. How delightful. Again, Mirai can run like 600 feet in a second, so... Okay. Cool. And then he drives off without her, and she jumps on the handlebars, no sweat. Alright, I want to do something here. He starts moving at 6 minutes and 19 seconds. She lands on the handlebars at 6 minutes and 23 seconds. So it takes 4 seconds. How fast does like a Vespa scooter at maximum speed go? About 60 miles per hour. Let's say that it's an electric version, so it's only going 30 miles per hour. Great. 30 mph in feet per second. It's 44 feet per second. It took 4 seconds for her to jump onto the handlebars, right? So 44 times 4, it's like 175-ish feet per second. Or feet total that he has traveled if he accelerated immediately. She just leaps that in the course of 4 seconds after he has that head start. So she just runs like 180 feet in a couple seconds. Easy. No problem. Usain Bolt times 100. No problem. Okay. Yeah, this is such a small gripe. It doesn't matter. It's just ridiculous. Cool. When we get this goofy chase sequence, I will say one thing in its favor. We show like 8 shots of him staring at her skirt flying in the wind, and we don't comment on it. I genuinely appreciate that show. Good job. Because I fully expected, what I expected was she would suddenly get like really like chased about it and be like, don't look up my skirt. Haha, it's that joke again. Thank God it isn't that joke again. I am glad. Great. We get some stuff and we're working together and that's good. Oh, there's a chasm now. That's happening now. We leap it. That's pretty cool. And then whee! That's pretty okay. Great. But then there's another one? And it's basically vertical, but somehow our scooter goes up it, and obviously yelling makes your scooter go better. And then we have this moment where this is a really cool cut. I like the dynamics of it and the way that she fades that way and then jumps forward. It's really snappy and nice. And then they grasp hands, and we focus on the grasped hands, but we don't focus on the fact that it's his right hand, and that's the shade hand that is the shade part of him, which is actually poignant. Like, she reaches out and grabs the part of him that he maybe doesn't like about himself, and that's the thing that saves him, and that's what she reaches out to and grabs onto because they're able to relate to each other because they both have parts of themselves that they can't control, that they hate about themselves. But then they accept those things about each other. It's like that's actually the plot line, but we don't even draw it as the shade hand, which he still has. Why? Why? It's right there. It's right there, KyoAni. It's not only a narrative mistake because there's this massive like visual representation of the entire overall plot just screaming at you that, by the way, was set up for literally no reason. They fly off this thing after falling into this crevasse for no reason, just cuz. But the cuz could be so that we could get to this visual metaphor for the entire plot that's kind of poignant and kind of good. And then not only do we not take that opportunity to say something with our visuals, we fuck up and don't show his hand being a Yomu hand, which he has? I'm gonna have an aneurysm. Yeah, he still has the shade hand. Just checking here. This is just like a minute later after they climb up after being on the ground. Still has that. That's still there. It didn't go away. It's just a mistake. So Mirai goes. Mirai does some cool slashy fighty things. Again, they're cool. They're real cool. Not a lot of tension here. Not a lot of shit matters here. It's just sort of a flood of stuff that's like, wow, that's real cool. Is this thing important? Is this one special? No? Okay, we made it. We stabbed it. It explodes. Everything explodes. We are now Eva. Cool, cool. We got a bloody dripping planetoid on top of a planet. Nice, nice. Now that the shade is free of Kuriyama Mirai, it will do something that he wants, and it will destroy the world because he wants that, because reasons? What now? Izumi-san. Hello, hello. Oh, we get an externalization of your internal world, and your self-hatred becomes the internalized self-hatred, or the internalized hatred that you've experienced from everybody else. And then you guys visually stand within the midst of all of that bad juju and are like, we got each other at least, and you hold hands with your eyes closed and are like, the terrors outside can't get us and we're okay together. This is all that matters. What other people think of us doesn't matter. We got this. And that's pretty good. And then they say some stuff that's like, we should go because we have power. And that's pretty cool. And we make some jokes about Hiromi being creepy, because no need to keep tension running. And then he starts going fully like getting pleasure from the fact that she's scared and stuff, which we've seen a little bit of that sadism from bad guy before. Mr. Miroku bad guy Fujima, bad guy. His name is bad guy. It might as well be, because he doesn't have shit going on. He's just a bad guy named Bad Guy, whose last name is Bad Guy. Scared and panicked look, you try to hide. As you struggle to take me down. The whole thing, it's all about making a woman feel less than. That's his deal. You hate him yet? He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. We gotta hate him. It's what he does. And then starts to make jokes about this, and then not wanting to find out about your past, and then reveals a thing that we don't have any reason to care about. That, listen to yourself, we both harbor shades in our body. Oh. Thing we didn't know that has no narrative weight. It's just the thing we didn't know, and he's like, this'll goad you. And Hiromi gets to show up right in time to hear it because tension and drama about things that we don't care about. But our characters seem to, even though we don't understand why they seem to. Because Because there's nothing about this anywhere else in the story. There's nothing that even implies that she's, like, overcome by something that is a Yomu or something. It just isn't. It just isn't. Okay? And then we get this kind of cool scene where she's like, rah, pow, 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 poom, pow. Also, where's that sequence of Nino fighting him? Because that was actually good. I feel like I've skipped it. Oh, I just found it. That was actually good shit. This is like my favorite sequence in maybe the whole show in terms of dynamic fight animation, because wait, where'd it go? It's like 5 seconds. It's like nothing, but it's still good. There's an actual back and forth between these two fighters who seem like they're actually interesting fighters, and they actually... Oh, wait, no, it's before this? Wait, where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's after Izumi shows up. This little 1-2 cut of the fist hyper close up coming toward us, and then immediately match cut, like matching location of fist in frame. Fist gets to here, gets to the far right side of the screen, and then that's where the fist is going in the next frame as we pull out from blurry to blurry. That's really clever and well done. That's cool. And then it becomes a very dynamic shot as he turns around and we get close to him, see an expression on his face, and feel the retaliation. And then we get this quick, really well executed, very smear-filled, really well done with interesting effects and stuff, hand-to-hand combat sequence. This is cool. There's back and forth to it. He punches... I just punched my tea all over my desk. It's actually a pretty solid, like, representation of how I feel about this anime. It's just, like, I'm sad and there's tea all over my desk. Alright, I'll be back in a sec. I need to put something absorbent on top of this. Okay, good enough. I put some shirts down on top of it. They'll soak it up. Eventually. Probably. Great. This is cool, though. She, like, grabs his hand and, like, shoots energy into him. That's neat. That's fighting stuff that we didn't know about. It evaporates his hand, and then he smiles. Right? That's spooky. But then his hand comes back and, like, reforges itself, and that's spooky and cool. That's a neat idea. And then we get this whole sequence where everybody gets to say something, so that if you care about any of these characters, you're like, hey, my character got to say something. Okay. Move along, because we went back for a bit. Oh yeah, Ayaka and I show up, and I is, like, really cute because she can't do shit. And then they fight. And then brother comes in. And they fight. And they fight, and then there are explosions. Spare me the dramatics. Probably something similar. Hello, Hiromi, all the people that we've hurt somehow. Hiromi is his Yui to an extent. Hit us at heart and all that shit. This is a manifestation of the weakness in our hearts. Same goes for me. We're together. We're together. We're together. We're together. Yay, we're not alone. Awesome. Cool. And it's all just monsters out there. It's not people. It's just monsters. Let's fight them together. And we end the show here with our characters fighting against an endless horde of monsters together. Motivations and internal plot resolved. They are together, and they are fighting together, and that makes them strong. We did it! But we didn't, because we gotta keep going here, and we just have them fighting against a horde of stuff with some really cool looking cuts that are really cool looking, and that's it. They're just cool looking. I want to actually see that one framed, because there's this, like, cool outline around his fist. Oh, okay. It isn't, actually. It's just the line work working that way. I love the deep black lightning, and the green lightning is okay, too. And he's punching stuff, and it's exploding, and it all looks really cool. And she's slashing stuff, and it's exploding. It all looks really cool. Jump into all of these different sequences that don't seem connected in any way, but they're fighting, and that's cool, and we care because it's cool. We get this sequence, which is genuinely impressive. She drops to the ground, and we get this sort of semi-one-shotty sequence where she's got this great, like, lull between her strikes as she almost stumbles forward into each of them, and then slash, gets it, and then we at that last slash, cut immediately to him going in for his own attack, and it's like they're fighting as one, even though they're fighting separately, because they're together in spirit and in heart, and that's the end of the show, but it isn't. Oh yeah, they show up and do some stuff, and we slash some more things, and it looks really cool, and I'm not going to deny that it looks really cool, it just doesn't fucking matter, and it's not attached to a story that I care about, so it's a light show. Whee! Flicker, 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 flicker. Spectacle for the sake of spectacle. And then we win, and it's pretty, and then he needs to self-actualize, so himself comes out, but it's not actually visualized, it's just a hand. It all used to be inside me, including that sickening envy, the despair of the fact that I'll never be human, and he starts to list out all the things that he hates about himself, the things that he detaches from himself and associates with his shadow, which is not you, but it's you. It's all the things about you that you don't want to identify with, that you hold on to and repress. That's definitionally what the Jungian psychological shadow is all the things about you that you externalize into some entity within you that's like your conscience, but the evil version, and you're like, that's not really me, that was that me that did that, and that's different. And to become an adult, you have to like merge those two and accept that you are capable of all of those things, and then you can understand how to wield all of that darkness inside you again as a tool instead of as a like self-harming and world-harming weapon. That's how that works. So he does that, but then he says all of these things, all of that stuff, I won't let any of it outside. I will repress it as deeply as I can. Wait a second. Wait, we lost it. Hold on. No. Wait. No. No. So Akihito has blamed his shade half for all of the things about himself that he doesn't like. And then he's like, all of those things are actually me, and I'm going to repress them as much as I can. Even though they're me, they're not something that I'm willing to identify with. I accept that I have had those things, but I will hold them in and never let my feelings show, because that's how people work. Oh no, you lost the thing. Now then there's the "it all belongs to me" line, which kind of reneges on that renege and is like, oh no, these are things that are belonging to me. I own this envy, I own this hatred, I own this self-hatred, I own all of this stuff, and I can use it, and that kind of works, but it's all kind of and then it's also like a burden that he carries, because that makes sense, actually. That works, but I'm the immortal half-shade, I'll be all of those things, but I won't be all of those things, and I won't let those things outside. Wait, what? No, you have to, wait, oh, no, okay. Point lost. Girl shatters, reasons 0, sad, scene of head pats, because head pats are the thing that we anime watchers associate with cuteness and wholesomeness, because that's what we do, and so that's what she asks for, because wholesomeness and cuteness is what we need in this scene, so that we pull at the audience's heartstrings, so that we feel a thing when she shatters. And then she shatters, and we can't do anything about it, and we're sad. We grab the ring, and then all of the rest of the things we have already covered. Just an ending that makes no fucking sense and also sucks. Like, if it made no sense and was good and was interesting, I might be willing to look the other way a little bit. But it makes no sense, and it sucks. And that's fucked up. That's some bullshit right there. The ending to this show is bullshit, and I hate it. I came into this going, this show is fine. I changed my mind. This show is a very pretty fucked up piece of media. The writing is genuinely laughable here at the end. And I mean genuinely, because I spent a good long time laughing at it. What the ever-loving fuck was anybody thinking? I am going to look up the light novel author of Kyoukai no Kanata. Hold on. Or it's a light novel author, right? Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Adaptation, Kyoukai no Kanata. Great. Author, I'm Nagomu Tori. Kyoukai no Kanata. Kyoukai no Kanata movie 1. Kyoukai no Kanata movie 2. Kyoukai no Kanata movie I'll Be Here. Kyoukai no Kanata Idol Saiban. Kyoukai no Kanata Mini Gekijo. Kyoukai no Kanata Shino Nome. Has literally never written anything else, have you? Have you ever written anything else? Is that stuff listed on some other site somewhere else? Because I want to blacklist that shit and never read anything that you've ever written ever again. This is terrible. This is a show with potential that is utterly squandered for no reason. Nope, just the Kyoukai no Kanata books. Good, then I don't have to blacklist anything else that this fucker has written. Nagomu Torii, you are a failure. You failed to make a compelling story, and you had all of the elements present to do so, and you failed. And then you dragged an entire anime studio into making an entire core of a show about a story with no stakes that doesn't matter and has an ending that throws all of it away. I have at this point I have nothing but disdain for this show. I rate the last episode of this show. That's it. I'm out. We'll watch something else next week. We're not watching the movie. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Peace.